Hi, I'm Daniel, this is Ashville Weekly, episode 59. Well, it's not really 59. It's kind of a mixture of 58 and 59. For those of you who watched last week's episode, you saw me ranting on Saturday. I'm furious because we lost all our footage for episodes 58 and 59. Guys, thank you so much for all your messages, and thank you to everyone who was giving us technical support. Unfortunately, we can't answer all of your comments, but we are thankful. Since that point, we've put a different method of work in place with our IT consultant, and hopefully that will never happen again. We have managed to salvage some footage. Now, that is the footage that we found off cards that hadn't been deleted as of yet. And my DJI, what you see me walking around with a lot, filming myself. So it is not the episode that we wanted to bring you, but it is what we have to move forward with. It's kind of like Ashville Weekly, the lost tapes. We're gonna have to break absolutely everything. £70,000.
I'm a businessman.
I've lost everything. Ah! I'm furious. I said to the boys, pull it all out, especially with the longer one in the middle. I don't want to hear any excuses.
Did I say to squeeze everything in the middle?
We are going to be running trains again.
This man snuck up on me.
And you go skidding on your knees to celebrate. Woo. I'm furious! Happy Black Friday weekend, people. This episode of Ashville Weekly is sponsored by Dell. So I've got my new shipping container office, which is black. I've got my brand new Dell XPS 17, which is black. So the good people at Dell have decided to hook your boy up with some new accessories. And guess what? They're all black. The office was beginning to look a bit bare. I'm not much of a keyboard warrior, but with the last keyboard, every time I felt I was gonna type something, it was like I was going to war.
With Dell's Premier multi-device wireless keyboard and mouse, I can seamlessly connect up to 3 devices and effortlessly switch between them.
The ambient noise in the yard was a bit of a problem for me, but now with this Premier Dell wireless headset, that's no longer an issue. It's got noise cancellation and smart sensors that mute and unmute the call. No more blurry and pixelated video call appearances for me. With the Dell's ultra sharp webcam, I'll be appearing in 4K no matter the lighting or the angle, and I'll have perfect clarity. As some of you know, last week we lost a lot of footage, so we're gonna keep some off-site backups of all our working projects. This WD 12 terabyte hard drive is gonna go home with me every night. Now, this is one of my favorite Dell accessories. It's a 128 gigabyte flash drive. If you can imagine filming Ashville Weekly in 4K, 40 minutes long, the files are quite big. Now, the boys can put the footage onto this, I can plug it into my laptop and watch it straight away. Over here in the boardroom, we have the Dell multi-adapter speakerphone. Let's say I've got some people in the office and some people in Zoom, I can enjoy a seamless conferencing experience with the built-in speakerphone. And with the omnidirectional microphone, it doesn't matter where you're sitting, your voice will be heard. It also has echo, cancellation, and noise reduction. So whether you're looking for a gift for that special someone or you're an entrepreneur who needs to up your level of productivity, Dell has you covered from everything from laptops to accessories. Click on the link in the description to check out Dell's XPS laptop range and the Black Friday deals.
Tuesday morning, and I'm on the way into West End. On my knee this morning, I have X-ray, then MRI, then I'm seeing a consultant. They just weren't lubing up after a few sets. I used to be able to just start training, but it's just not happening anymore, and they don't know what it is. So I'm gonna head down there, spend a few hours here, and then make my way back to the yard. And I have a meeting at a potential job where I've drawn up some plans. I wanna go over them with the client, and that is at 1 o'clock. Then I'll be back in the yard, try and do a watch through of a video that will hopefully bring you today, which is me at the auction buying the bins. Click here to watch that video. And then gonna try and have a watch through again of the Mercedes ABA crash test video. We're hoping to bring you that on Thursday, so click here to watch that if that is live. There's a lot more work that needs to go into it before those videos will be ready.
I think we should do an injection into your joint of a bit of cortisone and some hyaluronic acid.
When?
We can do it today if you want. Yeah, I've got a radiologist. We can send you
once you're going to do what you're going to put a big needle into my arm.
Very, very fine needle,
okay.
And you'll be probably lying on your side or, in the ultrasound room. So it's not like he walks up behind and just jabs it in.
And while we're in there, there's no chance of some sort of experiment that's going to make me stronger, like some sort of adamantium or...
There's no magic potion.
There's nothing.
No, I think we start with the things that we know work. This is not necessarily a kind of career-ending thing in terms of your athletic pursuits, but it can't be reversed. We have to accept it. It is what it is.
Okay.
Good, nice to see you. Take care.
Thank you.
It's not the appointment I thought it was. I've got some stuff booked for my knee, but that's my next appointment. This was the follow-up on my shoulder. And explaining where I am 8 weeks after my operation, when I was a bit dazed and confused. I'm told that my progress should be further along by now, and I'm going for an injection. And I hate injections. I did ask if there's anything else they could put in there to make me the bionic man, and the answer is no. I didn't plan on this, but doc says I need it, so I need it. Apparently it will give some lubrication and it will lessen the inflammation, and I should be able to move around a lot more and maybe start training the muscles around it. I have to go back at 10:30 for these injections, so I'm just sat in the car. The auction video has been uploaded, so I'm gonna watch a version of it now. And I just had a chat with Terry about the work they're doing in the railway yard. I asked the boys to do it yesterday, but the yard got really busy and they had to go and make a bunch of bags, and they had to load lorries when they came in, and they didn't actually end up doing a lot yesterday, so it's all getting done now. And Terry asked me a couple of questions, but it's difficult to work out what he's talking about just with him telling me, and he doesn't actually know the instructions that I gave to the boys because he wasn't there. So Terry's going to FaceTime me and we're going to go through it.
That's not what I asked them to do.
That's why I was trying to ring you and FaceTime before. I don't know what you asked them to do.
Oh man. You see down the bottom near the stopper?
Yeah.
You see on the right hand side the way it is, yeah?
Yeah.
That is what they were meant to do the whole way.
For as long as they could do it.
Correct. Them doing that, you still can't get onto the track. That's wrong. They need to pull it out. They need to pull it out and redo it. At no point did I say to squeeze everything in the middle. And why aren't those used on the outside? No. What you're looking at, I did not instruct that. Go back to the right. Why would you leave that there upside down the wrong way? Like how? What is that?
Yeah,
like why is that like that? Anyway, let's put them all in place, and then let's do the tidying up after, when we see how much we've got and what it is. Yeah. Yeah, let's just burn diesel and just move things around all day, like when nobody told you to do that. Like, cool. All right.
So.
In the hours. The work in the railway yard. That's just. Hopefully we can go back to an action replay.
I'm furious!
At no point did I ask for that to happen, but maybe there was a miscommunication, or someone took an executive decision and decided that they knew a better way of doing it. But that wasn't my plan. What happened there? Anyway, I'm gonna go back in for my injection.
I've lost everything!
Back on the road. I had my injection. People there were really nice, man, but I just do not respond well to people putting large needles in me. They did an ultrasound first, and it showed the size of my skin in relation to the size of my deltoid and how far they actually had to go. So, phone call's coming in. Not saying what to do, but it may be a good thing for us to start getting things on paper, because I've got a few sources, and I'm talking to a few others as well.
In terms of your yard, what are you able to take volume-wise? How many services a week would be maximum for you, really?
6.
Right. Okay. So you can.
Well, 12 if you want to do 2 a day. But I just can't. I don't want to offload at night, because I'm going to upset the neighbours. I'm allowed, but I don't want to do it. Yeah. The train can come into the yard and you can leave it there, but I'll start offloading at 7 a.m. If that's the way you want to do it, we will. But, you know, I'd prefer we had a better working relationship than that.
Probably get into a commitment of, 9 minimum, say 2 or 3 trains a week for a period of 2 to 3 years.
Yep.
I mean, is that something that
sounds
you should be comfortable with?
100%,
Yeah.
mate. 100%. Would that be in the contract? Because that's like if I could do back loads, that my rate would be reduced.
It's something that we could look at.
Sounds good. Sounds good, mate. All positive.
Okay, well, leave it with me. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible.
A great phone call discussing trains, and thank goodness, because that completely just took my mind off the injection I had earlier, and now I feel a lot better. When the injection happened, I broke into a mad sweat, and then they had to let me lie down for 10 minutes. And I felt like the scratch, and I know how deep the needle went into me. I'm terrible with stuff like that. But that phone call has, and it was a good phone call as well, so that's livened me up. I'm happy enough about that. So onwards and upwards, let's carry on with the day.
I'm furious!
It's Tuesday and the light has just turned off. It's Tuesday at 5:18. We have a third lorry now ready for test, but they're not getting tested for a little while, so we're going to park them up over there. Tomorrow we're going to change the O-rings on the road sweeper. I told you about that a few weeks back, but I had to succumb to their powers and pay them £140 for a set of O-rings, which I'm really not happy about. And once that is fixed, we're then going to start on the hopper, and we're going to put some steel on it to make it wider so we can use the big shovel and we can tip a whole bucket of material into it. And I'm still waiting for the finalized drawings of the conveyor belts. The guys are leaving the sticker man's house at the end of this week, so 3 or 4 of the guys are going to come to the yard, and I haven't taken on any other work. I want them to come here. I have all the steels on the back bay to do. I have concrete to lay. I have the merch container to do. I have the training room to do. I have so much work. I mean, even running new power where the fuel tank is going to be. I found myself a 5,000 litre AdBlue tank today. That's got to go over there. So there's so much work operationally I have to do in this yard, and realistically, I'm not going to get it all done. Simon? Oh, the lights come back on. And realistically, I'm not going to get it all done before Christmas. So the best I can hope for is to get every single thing in the yard done before we head into the new year. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning.
I'm furious! I've lost everything. I'm furious.
A package has arrived in the yard, and as we saw by Terry's antics last week, stealing my spoon, Terry likes to fuss up himself in my business. So a box has come to the yard that's not open, and Terry has volunteered himself to open it. Now who knows what this could...
Can we get this straight? Daniel said, I'm not opening it.
Terry does not have the ocular evidence or any witnesses to prove that statement correct. So let's go, Tezza. Here we go. Let's see what's in the box that clearly isn't anything from CPC. Simon the accountant has stood well back. Oh, okay, keep going.
I know what it is. It's the hard drive.
Oh. It's a hard drive. Great.
It's not that exciting.
But let's pay attention to the way that Terry farts up himself. You know what that reminds me of? Remember in Shrek, when he's going to take the potion, Shrek's going to do it, and Donkey jumps in and says, no, I'm going to drink it. That's the best friend's job. That's what Terry just did. He just tried to take a bullet for me. Thank you, Terry.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I've lost everything, and there is nothing I can do about it.
It's Saturday and I'm in the yard in my office. I'm not around for the entire day. I've actually been invited to the rugby at Twickenham. So I've never been to a proper rugby game before, so I'm very thankful I've been invited, and I'm going to go and try and catch a vibe and see how it is. No, I have no intention of sponsoring any rugby clubs. But before I do leave, had a walk around the yard. The guys are carrying on with the work they're doing in the backyard. I'm trying to do as much as I can so everything is in place. Once you put certain fundamentals in place, you have the foundation for people to just get on and do their job, and for things to just tick over on a daily basis. And while those people are capable, there's only so much that you can get your staff to do. You can't just keep bringing on more work and expecting the people that you've got there to deal with it. Now, it's a double-edged sword, because obviously
I want to run a business. So the ultimate goal of a business is obviously to run a profit. Might not happen in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, but eventually you want to be a profitable business. But you can't expect to burden the people who are already here, who are busy every day with more work continually. So we're going to begin to start hiring. You need to sometimes refresh what you're doing with people, because in a small business like this, a lot of times things overlap and people help each other because we're a small team. But every now and then you need to draw a line and decide what is within your job spec, what is within your job spec, who are you managing, who is reporting to me and who is not. So I'm going to work on the job spec, going to define what other people's roles are, and then I'm going to move forward and go out to the market and see if we can't recruit some people to keep the business moving forward. I've lost everything.
Both my feet are in, yeah? Yeah. Hi, I'm Daniel, and this is Ashville Weekly, episode 59. Monday morning in this week, we start at the sticker man's house in his back garden. Having a look here, you can see the temporary cover that we've made for the pool. He was having difficulty finding something to put over the pool, and obviously for safety, with all the kids that are going to be running around, we felt we had to build something with a structure that if somebody walked over it wouldn't collapse. Also in the corner over there, looking at the fiberglass structure that we got behind us, what we're going to put timber on top of, there's going to be an access hatch, and you can climb down the access hatch and then you can get into the plant room. In other news, the AstroTurf is in. Yes, so we've gone for the artificial grass, which is fantastic for low maintenance, but very bad if you score a goal in the top corner and you go skidding on your knees to celebrate. Let's go and have a look now at the changing area over the other side. It started out as a basic idea, but then it began to get more complex as we began to add more and more and more to it. Walking over here, we have the outdoor TV that's still covered at the moment. And here we have to do a little bit more work to this render. When we put one of the coats of render on, it was actually raining. And because it was raining, it didn't stick. And then we have these problems, what you can see if you look really closely. So we need a bit of better weather, and then we're gonna give that another go. Sorry, can I get in there?
Yeah, no.
So as we walk into this room, you can see it's been insulated. The plasterboard is on the wall and it has been taped. And here's the area at the back where we are going to have the bathroom. So we can see the plumbing in place for the toilet. That is the flush plate. The cistern is behind this. And in this area we have simple spotlights. We actually have a door on this as well for the first time. We've never had a door on this room. There we go. So the garden is progressing fantastically. There's just little bits and pieces that we've got left to do. Let's go and have a look inside. You can see the kitchen is that bit further on, and we now have the breakfast bar area and all the chairs have been uncovered. Something I didn't realize in previous episodes is that in this area, it's also lit. I mean, that's really cool. Having a look at it here on the island is really nice. Dining room table with the matching black chairs. Yes, black is my favorite color, so I love those chairs. Family are very happy they're moving in. It has been a very long journey. Everyone on this build, including them, us, all my team, we've had to be very patient to get to this point because there were a lot of complicated things on this job and a lot of attention to detail was required. You can see the utility is now being used. Let's have a quick look in the garage. Hello, Chris. Hello. So here we can see the AV rack. You can see mega flows, boilers, electrical, and we're just building a cupboard in front of it now. So the timber you can see there, we're going to build sliding doors. We have all our materials here. We are going to box that all in, so none of it will be exposed. And here's the Ventaxia unit, what you've seen a lot of times in the past. When we're done with this room, we are actually going to plasterboard everything. The work is progressing nicely outside. The front drive is being lifted. We have 2 grab lorries on turnaround. We've probably got 8 loads, probably 6 loads of muck and 2 loads of tarmac hardcore to come out of here, and about 6 loads of type 1 are all going to go in today, and then the front drive will be finished this week also, so that's another thing to tick off the list. Before I leave the utility, I'm just having a look here, just paying close attention to the underfloor heat and thermostat. I really like this stat. So we're at 22 degrees in here. It's Monday,
Really good digital thermostats. And the underfloor heating is very warm. Very warm, very cozy. Speaking of cozy, let's have a look at the snug. Yay! There's Gus from Yanni Myers. What's really good, Gus?
Getting them shots.
He's getting them shots. Now that sofa is very deep. So this is kind of like a comfortable area. This is Steph's man cave. I don't know what you call a woman man cave. I don't know if it's a girl cave or woman cave. I don't know what it's called, but this is what it is anyway. Now we have the fireplace underneath the 85-inch television. I think this is the first time you've seen this on Ashville Weekly. And over here we have the blinds. So we got the remote. Nice. So you can see all the work we put in over all the months to create the recess in the ceiling and the frames and the lighting and everything we did. It's all come together at the end to create a fantastic finish. See what I'm saying about how Gus is teeth in my shots?
Which area?
In the past, you've seen this cupboard where we have the manifold for the underfloor heating and the water softener. So now we have bespoke cabinetry here, and we have these cool leather handles. So you can make these longer or shorter. So you can take them off, cut them, and then put them back. So everything is now in the cupboard. And again, we've gone for the black cabinetry, what matches all the doors. Of course, with the soft close. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. We have some artwork on the wall of Jay-Z in the hallway, and this artwork is a piece of leather that was etched and cut and damaged to form a shadow outline of Jay-Z. Me personally, I love Jay-Z, so I love that. On the other side here, we have more bespoke cabinetry, again with the same leather handles. And this is the cupboard where a long time ago I was showing you the Ventaxia unit. And here it is, still hidden in the cupboard. But in these cupboards, we have space to hang coats. So we have top, bottom, and at the bottom here, we have pull-out drawers. Bruv, I'm a one-man director, film, and I'm just a one-man army of bad boy shots. Look at this. Wicked business, rude boy business. The way man just gets them shots, it's just a deep dish. At last, this room is finished. Now, a while ago, I told you about the bespoke mirror. A while ago, I spoke about the bespoke mirror that we went. A while ago, I spoke about the bespoke mirror that we made, what they said couldn't be done. Well, here it proves that it can be done. And now we have the sink in place, we have the toilet, and we see all their pictures around with their cool little sayings. Oh, guys, I don't really like how you're going around copying everything I'm doing, you know. Man's talking and it's reminding you of the shots you're supposed to take. Bro, man's a bad man for this camera thing, you know. See my shots, yeah? It's a deep dish, bro.
You know what Yanni is hiring?
I work for cheap too. Indie cinema room, which is coming along nicely. Last time we were here, I showed you the timber frames going up for the speakers. Now you can see the fabric on the walls and the speakers are inside them. I really like this. So on the wall, you can see an 85-inch television, what is recessed, so everything fits flush. Then above, you can see where the grill is, where there's gonna be a projector. Now this is gonna be part of the Control 4 video we do in the future. Bad man business. Man can't chat to me about my cutaways. Bad man business. The wickedness increases when I'm behind the camera. Do, 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 do. And we step into the playroom. Got this lovely giraffe here. I don't believe this is the same giraffe that was in Ashville Weekly 2 weeks back. Hold on. Wait. This man snuck up on me. Hold on. Hold this, you hold this, yeah? So all the lights in here, you can change the colors, and as he does that, look at that. You've seen the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star wallpaper before, but all the lighting is in place. This house definitely now feels like a home. Let's go upstairs. The carpet runner is now in its central location, and you can see how well the spotlights work. The glass is in on both sides. All the carpet, low-level LED lighting, looking fantastic. And this is the master bedroom.
So they finally have a bed in here. This bed we have to lift over a very long time ago because it's an Emperor and it's absolutely huge. And it was a nightmare for them to find sheets and duvets, etc. But I'm glad that we got it in early. You can see the headboard in place and you can see all the work we did with positioning for lighting and everything we did. Everything has all come together now. And now I want to show you the ensuite, which I love. Oh yes. So now we can see the 2 sinks in place. Backlit mirror. Love that. And the shower area isn't 100% finished. You can see the holes on the wall. This is where the shower door hinges will be attached. So there will be a door here. But for the first time, you can see the shower mixer unit on the wall and the shower head. So let's see how that works. Okay, well that didn't work. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. And you can see the water draining away to the linear grill within the wet floor that we made out of 1 tile. Perfect. Over the other side of the bathroom. Very nice. This is the baby room. You can see by the cot in the corner. All the lighting is here. Another room done. Let's have a look across here at one of the bathrooms, what I haven't been able to show you completed for a very long time. And at last, here it is. There's only one thing that needs to be changed. This flush plate is meant to match that tap. So that is coming off and a new one which matches this is going in place. But finally the correct sink and toilet is here. Now let's make our way into the shower. Yes. And here is the shower head. Let's try and give this one a test. Oh my God, I could get egg on my face here. No, let me just face that the other way just in case I push the wrong button. Nice. Rainwater shower head, wet room floor to a linear grill. This bathroom you have seen many times before. That is the bath that I love to sit in previous episodes. Going up another floor, you can see the stair runner. At last we have a bed in here. We have a chest of drawers. We have the television on the wall, and Jan has finally began to unpack his clothes. For a wardrobe in a loft area, very difficult to tell this is a loft other than the sloped roof. You can see speakers here so we can even listen to music while choosing what to wear. This room also, we now have a bed, chest of drawers, bedside tables, television on the wall, and touchscreen panel. As I said before, this house is now lived in. So people live here every day. The house is being used. We haven't had one leak yet. So I'm very happy about that. And this bathroom, as you can tell by the shower screen, is now being used. Let's go back down onto the ground floor because I want to do a couple of flashbacks for you. In this area, I'm having a look and I'm remembering all the steel that is actually in the walls and ceilings here, and the fact that this area was completely different. When I stood here a very, very, very long time ago and we thought about this space, see, I'm good at visualizing, but I couldn't imagine that it would look this nice. So there's huge steels in the wall here, there's supports everywhere. And I stood here in between 2 steels asking questions about a fireplace, what is in. So let's do a couple of comparisons and blast from the past and then show what it looks like now. Having a look on the front drive, we're digging it out, making a pile here for the grabs to come and collect. and the membrane is down here. So we're going to take a couple of grabs out, then the type 1 is going to arrive, and then we're going to begin to build it back up again with the type 1 40mm down to dust. But you see, we have a bit of a mounting building up here, and we need to get this taken and get this out the way as soon as possible. Made 2 separate piles. Here's a pile of the inert. This is kind of like hardcore sand and paving. Tried to create 2 separate piles so they can go to 2 separate places, so we waste a lot less. Grabs of the ride, so Dudek and I are taking out 5 minutes, and Dudek is looking forward to coming to the yard, aren't you, Dudek?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Tomorrow.
There we are. The grab is here. See there? Obviously put the pads down to protect the road. He definitely went over the wheel wash before he left the yard. You can see the difference in the level already once we take it down. And here we go, I forgot to tell you about this. Here's a small fence that we built at the front. Yeah, we built a really small fence on this side also. And then we're gonna start building up the type 1 here as soon as we get rid of a lot more of that muck. It's getting a bit hard to work here. We're actually running out of space. So we need to crack on and get this muck taken out. Back in the yard, and I feared we'd fall behind a little bit on the Sticker Man's front drive, so I've sent a couple of tippers up there. So we have a grab next to a tipper loading now. Let's have a look at that. And then straight away in a minute, we're gonna do that again, and then everything should be gone off the front drive and we'll be completely ready for type 1. We've probably got 4 loads of that going up first thing in the morning. Now we're gonna get on with the frame for the large hopper. Gonna grab a couple of sheets and get those ready to attach those to the frame.
I've lost everything.
Going back over to the video office, I'm going to have a watch through of the 150-ton digger video. It's a very complicated edit. It's not easy to put it together. At the same time, hopefully on Wednesday, we can bring you the Mercedes crash test video. So a lot going on. Not the best day now. I'm not in the greatest of spirits. There was a lot that didn't go our way today. So hopefully I can sit down and get through a bit of this edit and hopefully give it some direction so Friday can continue working on it.
So at that point, it would have also been my fault.
Tuesday morning, I'm in the yard. If you remember 2 weeks back, I had the conversation with His Highness, Mr. O'Donovan, and we discussed the AdBlue problem.
By Christmas time, AdBlue will be double in price and it'll be a shortage of it, so you maybe have a little stock up on it.
And I ordered a load of AdBlue. Now, I ordered 12 in total, which took a lot longer than I expected to get here. Now, I didn't go to a great school, but I ordered 12, and in other news, we just had a delivery of diesel and some of the guys have left the Sticker Man's house and we're over here and we're beginning to put the steels in place. Hopefully we can get about 3 holes dug a day and put the steels in position. At the end of the day, pour the concrete and keep moving forward like that. And then we're gonna begin to build one entire straight line for the entire back wall. So all of the bays, everything will be tied in and we'll build them all together as one complete structure. So it's a simple enough task just to dig a couple of holes and prop the steels upright and then pour some concrete. No, never at Ashville could it go simply. That's just the amount of times in this yard we've had to clean it because the ground isn't solid. There's a problem with the ground, there's a problem with this, there's a problem with that. As soon as we start digging, we find loads of concrete under the ground. I could not make this up if I tried. So the entire way here is full of concrete, and now we can't get down enough to put the steels far enough into the ground to support them. So this is just long, isn't it? Oh my God. We're trying to expose this slab we can see to see how far down it goes, and we can't even find the bottom of it. Man. We found another slab.
1 meter.
1 meter, yeah? Boy, we're in the game.
We have to break this one anyway.
You can't break, with what? I'm thinking about renting a breaker for the 26 tonner. The trouble is the starter's gone on it and Liebherr too busy to come out and put a new starter on it. So when we turn it on in the morning, we're just leaving it on. It's never ending. But we have a little breaker for this 1.5 tonner. Now I'm gonna put that on this just to humor myself. I know it's too small, but I've got it and it's there, so I thought let me just try it. So we'll have a look and see how we get on with that. Yeah, cool. Yeah. You'll have to go a little bit at a time. Yeah. Yeah, but we'll be here all year. As you can see, my little 1.75 ton Kubota is not going to do it, obviously. So I've instructed Terry to hire a breaker for the 26 tonner, and I got a call, and the trains are starting on Tuesday. So we haven't had a train in a while. It's been a long time. I've been trying to sort some things out, but next Tuesday the first train is coming in, and we are going to be running trains again. I'm really happy about that, but now we are under savage pressure now to get this done and to get this yard looking spick and span and spotless. So what I've instructed the boys to do is to stay here with the 1.5 tonner and keep digging that way. So keep going, dig out all the areas where we're going to put the steels. There may not be concrete all the way down, but keep going and prepare it. So when the other one is dropped off, one team can be in the 26 tonner breaking out here, and the other team can be down there, and then we'll put the steels in. We'll just have to pour more steels a day than we thought we would, and we'll have to do more prep work in the beginning. 5 meter steel.
3 meter gonna hold it.
Yeah, 3 meters in the ground.
Will be not hold it only.
Fine, but the other block in the thing will hold it. Okay, fine. All right. We're just trying to make sure we work this out. I've done a little drawing over here. Follow me. Come and do that. So we got the long tape measure, and we measured from here all the way to down there. I want the bays to stop at about 92 meters. Now, if I divide up, what you have to take into account is each block is 600 wide. So when you're measuring, you have to understand that. Now, at all points along here, so I want 10 meters from the train line, because I have to consider the way the wagon hangs over, and then the LH60 driving down as well, to have space to turn and maneuver, and space for things to get round him when he's working, as long as they alert him, of course. So of that 92 meters, we're gonna make 5 bays, and on that 5 bays, the ones at this end are going to be deeper because of the shape of the yard. But what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 bays at 17 meters wide each, and the one here will have the most depth. And then when we get to the very end, the bay isn't very deep. It's a weird shape, but we're going to make that bay between 20 and 22 meters. Now that'll be the smallest bay. What we have to work to here is that each bay of the 4 larger bays could hold 3,000 tons of material, and I think they will. So here's a little drawing here for the guys to work from, and then we have to go and measure the steels. So of the steels we've got, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th bays, there will be a steel right in the middle of it at the back, and that steel will go all the way up to the top. It only needs to go 3.6 high because we're only going 6 blocks high, and then some of the other smaller steels may only come up to the 5th block, but it will be supported, because what's happened is the more we excavate over there, the more that we work out that whoever was working here before, I believe it was Aggregate Industries in the 80s, they have done a huge slab under the ground that keeps stepping up and keeps stepping up. So what we saw here, we are not going to get around that. The breaker is coming tomorrow. We're gonna have to break absolutely everything, and we're gonna have to make some new headway for ourselves, put the steel in, and we're gonna make sure that we pour the concrete. We're gonna kind of cantilever the weight of it coming into the yard. You'll never see it because it will be under the ground, but that is the only way that we're truly gonna support these steels. What you have to remember about these bays is once all this material is in the bay, the loading shovel is gonna drive into it at 100 miles an hour because everybody at Ashville has to do that. Then they have to spin out the back wheels while they're picking up material. They can't just lift the material up. Plus there's a chance the LH60 could track onto that pile. And when the LH60 is at the top of the pile, it's gonna be pushing everything outwards. So it's not going as smoothly as I had have hoped, but at least we have a plan in place. And once we do this, I'm trying to, I know everyone says I micromanage, I'm trying to set up as much as I can that the yard then only needs to be maintained. I'm gonna take it on the chin that maybe some things weren't as they were meant to be and people didn't know what to do and things weren't done right and there was always going the long way around doing things. Cool. So I'm gonna do it the right way so it's done, and then it will be easier to manage and maintain. And then I don't wanna hear any excuses after I've done everything. It's Wednesday morning. I'm in central London. Last week, when I came to Central, I thought I was here about my knee, but I wasn't. I was here to meet the surgeon about my shoulder, which, as you asked, is feeling a little bit better with the injection which I got, but that's temporary, so I really need to work on the muscles around it. But today is the day to check up on my knees. So I'm going back to back. I've got X-ray, I've got MRI, and then I'm sitting down with the surgeon, and then they're going to decide what the best course of action is. I think after what's happened with my shoulder, I'm going to try to avoid anything invasive. All of this arthroscopy and get in there and clean it out, like it's all this 8 weeks, 12 weeks to recover, man. It just doesn't, it depends what you call recover. My version of recover is to be pressing 2 plates behind the back of my neck for 4 sets of 15. That's my version of recover, and I can't even do a push-up, and I had surgery 9 weeks ago. So I'm finished, and I wasn't expecting great news, and it's definitely not great news. After X-rays and MRI scans, they have worked out that the problem with my knee, it's not something that I've created myself through heavy weights or squats, as I always thought. The problem with my knees, I was born with it. So basically, my patella, on the front of it where it sits, I have a condition where it attaches slightly on the outside too far, and my kneecap sits higher. Something that's considered too much is about 18 mil, and one of my knees sits at 23 and the other one sits at 21. So my kneecaps are all over the place. The periods in my life when I've been able to train is because all my muscles in my leg, i.e. the inside of my quad, was so strong it was dragging my kneecap round. So whenever I have a lapse in training and I don't train and those muscles aren't as strong, every time my knee goes up and down, it's basically grinding away at the back of my kneecap and my bones. I don't talk about kids and that, but obviously I want kids and a family one day, and I don't want to be 50 years old in the park and I can't even move around or run around in the park and obviously nutmeg my kid and blaze the ball in the top corner to show him that his old man is a rude boy for him still. So yeah, in other news, the breaker has arrived at the yard, and the guys are working together, and let's begin breaking up that slab and see if we can't get these steels in. Back in the yard to check how the lads are getting on. Got to do up your boots, man. Could roll your ankle, trip over. And we already know that I've got enough problems with my legs and knees. Whoa, whoa, the breaker. Woo. Having a look what's going on here the difference between here and here is about 1 metre. So I thought there was going to be about 1 metre of the steel in the ground. Some of these steels, there's going to be 2 metres in the ground to ensure that we get to hard ground and then we pour enough concrete over it. But there's so much steel already in the ground here. We would have got nowhere unless we got this. So the first 2 holes here, we have managed to get to the right level. Don't think about the level you see on this side, it's about the lower side. So that side is lower when we remove all of this, and we need to be 1 metre past the ground level on that side in order that this has enough strength. So that is the bottom of it there. We made a plan to use the shorter steels at this end and on the side, and as we get down there, we're gonna have to use the 6 metre steels because 2 metres of it will be in the ground. But luckily enough, 4 metres of it will still be sticking up. Because of the amount of vibration that breaker is putting through the ground, we're worried it could disturb the concrete setting and the steels here. So we're gonna dig as many of them as we can, get as far as we can, then start setting them up and hopefully pour them quickly. Then we need to start filling in and making good in these areas. The bagging plant as well, we had the MIG welder serviced yesterday, thankfully. Now that is working a lot better than it was, and we continue with the bagging plant hopper. I'm furious! I've lost everything! How did I sink like that? Ah, nah, that is a deep dish. That's why you lace your shoes up. Yeah, you need a cutaway. Yeah, of course, you need a cutaway. All right, let me get out of here. All right. Ah! 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 I'll tell you a little story. A man just came over. Somebody was saying we owed them a lot of money. They're saying, you asked this, we asked this. We're saying, no, we don't owe you that. They're saying, yes, we do. Terry has been keeping a spreadsheet, yeah? And we sent them Terry's spreadsheet. And you know what they did? What did they do, Terry?
£70,000 credit.
That's £70,000 credit. Don't mess around with Terry's Excel document. And don't try to boops me either, because I will go back to Terry's Excel and I will get my 70 grand credit. Yes, we're winning. Love that. You're still a shagger though.
Yes, we do love that.
I still want my, don't use my spoon anyway. 70 grand or no 70 grand, don't use my cutlery, bro. I've lost everything. Friday morning, I'm on the road again. Daniel is rolling on the road again. It's 6:05 and I'm on the way to meet Ara, part of my management, part of my creative team. Gonna go and see him and have a sit down and have a brainstorming session and talk about trajectory. I like that word. It's a word that my management use quite a lot. Let me tell you again, trajectory. Oh no, I could be pronouncing it wrong. Last night we left the concrete around the steels to dry. So this morning I've asked the lads straight away to take out the bracing around the steels and start laying those concrete blocks. But don't lay them too far, just lay the ground first and then start to build them up, but only build them up as much as you can, so the remaining blocks, what you're gonna do in the next couple of days, so they can still interlock, so we have one complete and strong system. I'm back in the yard, and unfortunately, all the work we started doing earlier is now undone. Previously, when we had these bays built, you know, if there was a bit of a difference, the blocks are so heavy, we didn't really think it mattered. But when we started to put the blocks in place, we realized how different the levels actually were. So I said to the boys, pull it all out, build the levels up again, and then we're gonna compact it and whacker it down. Then we're gonna put the blocks back afterwards. One team will do that and the other team will continue with the excavating and put some steels in place and pour some concrete. So we've put a level in here, and this is the material that you saw us scraping up around the yard when we've been cleaning up in the last few weeks. Now we have another material here which we're going to sprinkle on the top, and the whackers there. Let's have a look at this steel over here. Here's one we poured earlier, Now you can see the difference in level completely between this yard and our yard. So we've poured concrete on the bottom level, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put something here so we don't fill this entire area in the other yard with concrete as well. So once we've closed it up, while it's still wet, we're going to stick some rebar in it, so when we pour the concrete on top, it holds it all together and makes it nice and strong. And we're just in time for this one to be poured.
I've lost everything.
Friday evening, we're at QPR. We have friends and family here. You've seen this man a long time ago. This is my best mate, Paul, who I grew up with. Both his sons are my godchildren. You've seen them at the yard before. Get this story, right? So this man here, Aaron Kernan, when Paul took me to Ireland when I was young, I met this man, and this man, were you playing for Armagh then? He just started. So his father was the manager of Armagh Gaelic football, and all of his brothers, 5 of them, they all played for Armagh at one point, didn't they? And I used to stay at this man's house when I was in Ireland, and now this man has grown up and he's come over here and we're reconnecting. So, and he's introduced me to this man who's come to visit, and this here is Joe Zeffi from London Basement. London Basement's a firm that we've done business with for many years. So we've been working with them, and now Joe's leading the way in structural, well, what do we call it, Joe? Structural alterations and basement digs?
Basement digs, structural alterations, fit out.
Now we've got Joe on camera. Joe, you gonna let us film one of the jobs? You gonna let us film something there?
Why not?
There we go. See, we got him on camera. So it's friends and family, and everyone's brought their kids down, and we're having a great time. And this man here, he's the surveyor at London Basement, and he's a Luton fan. And they're losing 1-0 at half time. And look what Aaron brought me. Aaron brought me his shirt. Look at this. So I've got to frame this. And he's not happy about the fact I've got a Gucci shirt on the wall in my office as well. So I'm going to have to frame this one and put it up. So thank you, Aaron. This man has been playing in the same position, and he's had the same number at a club for 21 years. And he slightly looks like Ronaldo, doesn't he? Don't you think he looks like Ronaldo a little bit there? Thank you. Let me just check it.
I want to see.
Tell me when. It's Saturday and I'm in the yard. Now, one of two things. You may see this, what I'm doing now, could be your entire Ashville Weekly episode 58. Or it could be Saturday of episode 59. You can see the hopper frame getting along well. But oh yeah, by the way, normally we don't do this for weekly. We don't film on 2 cameras. But seeing as we can't do nothing in the office, we might as well film on 2 cameras and just make use of our time. Because what else are we going to do? Apart from sit, let's just wait till a couple of other things break. But then again, it's my fault. So, in the beginning, we put it together and we did a couple of tack welds. Now we're going through the stage of doing the proper welds and making it nice and strong. You can see the supports on the back of this, and now the other side is on, and we're going to begin to strengthen up the other side as well. Having to think about it, we're going to put a piece along the front just for the lifting. So we've got a couple of lifting eyes that we're going to weld to it. So we're going to give it 4 points, because when we take this and put it on top of the other hopper, it's going to be heavy. I say the thing's probably going to be about 5 ton. Don't move, anyone, don't move. Look what I found on the floor. A bent up step. You know what that probably means? That means that before I got here today, someone damaged or destroyed a lorry. There's something else I've got to pay for. but that's my fault as well, accountability. I should have drove that truck. I should have made a glass incubator for the QNAP in there. And even though I bought the best ones I could, I should have bought other ones. Then I should have run the fiber myself as well. Yeah, cool. And drove this lorry. Yeah, I should do it all. But I micromanage. So have a look at my wall. Oh yeah, by the way, the other day I told you about some footage with the volumetric concrete lorry that worked at night. Now those are my new GoPros. Will, how much I pay for them? £500 each, new GoPros. Guess what happened? We filmed it, and then we went to film the work on the 926 with the alternator, and guess what? Both the files corrupted. Of course they did. Both the files corrupted, and now none of it works. Will, are those GoPros decent, or am I a tight-fisted person that buys rubbish and expects more? Are they good GoPros? Cool. Are they the latest ones? Cool. They're brand new and the latest ones, and they're the best ones I could have got. But yeah, the file corrupted. It's all right. Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? Let's have a look at my wall. Well, it hasn't fallen down yet when I'm on it, so you know that's a plus. There's something, I guess. And before any of you say it, I'm not working at height. Oh, I could just say, he's working at height. He's going to collapse the economy. He walked on a wall. I can see that the wall is butting up against the steels. This should definitely keep it in place, especially with the longer one in the middle, what will support the 6th row. What Dudek did with these the other day, in order to make it perfect, he put it down and then took it out, put a little bit more material, took it out, put it down. That is a lot more accurate than we've ever done it in the past. Hopefully now I never have to have this conversation and many of these conversations ever again, because then it is what it is. Nobody will ever think about the wall again because it will just do what it's meant to do. Like all the other stuff I buy, which is meant to be the plan, but actually it didn't work at all and actually backfired on me, which means I should have kept it simple and just spent money on nothing and just done absolute rubbish, because I'd have been in the same, actually I would have been in a better position if I spent no money and didn't try to do anything, because I just kept my money in my pocket and not tried to keep going, just done nonsense like everyone else. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another one has been poured. The guys have stopped for a bit of lunch. The train is coming on Tuesday. It's Saturday at 11:04. This bay must be built by Tuesday morning. I guess we'll see, won't we? When you've poured this, I need you to set that level up, please. Okay? So they can carry on with the blocks while you do something else, yeah? So please set that, because I need them to carry on and build this bay up, yeah? Okay? Thanks. This is the biggest steel of this bay. It's going to go centrally. The holes are a lot neater here. We poured this one 10 minutes ago. Now we're going to do another one here, getting them nice and level. Let's get this steel in place, pour this concrete, and then we're going to go back over there on the side and sort the level out so we can begin to build that bay up even more. And that's it for Ashville Weekly episode 58. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see a video that this hard drive didn't destroy, and click here to see another video when I had a £5 hard drive when it all works properly. Nonsense, man. Fuck.